Hi, and thank you for listening. This is Sherry Andrea, and I appreciate you. If you're looking for me, you can find me at sherryspeaks.com, where you can find 80 plus attunements, including also, they all come with certificates starting at $2.50 and up. Also, you can find there a certificate creator where you can put all your information in, create a beautiful certificate, and you get it instantaneously. And they're only $1.75, whether you need one for yourself or if you're a Reiki master slash teacher, you can get them for your students. Also, you can find other services there, such as the deep clearings, which are still on sale right now for $15. You can order it for just yourself or for yourself and a loved one, like yourself and your child, yourself and your dog, yourself and your significant other, etc. All you have to do is change the quantity. Okay, so let's get right down to it. This is about, the title of this is Stop Wishing for People to Change. Don't worry, I'm not like pointing the finger at like you guys. I'm not pointing the finger at you. This is something that we all do at some point. We're dealing with people. Maybe we have an experience that is just so terrible, and we realize we're repeatedly having certain experiences with certain people. Maybe there's somebody that you deal with on a regular basis. It could be a neighbor, a sibling, some other family member, um, maybe somebody that works at the grocery store. Maybe you go into the grocery store and you're just like, oh, please don't let me get a certain cashier this time. Or you're purposely avoiding going to a certain cashier because there's something about them that just rubs you the wrong way, makes you have a bad experience. We've all been there. And we've all been there where we're just like really upset and literally hoping that one day they're going to change, or that maybe from dealing with us and maybe us saying certain things to them, or maybe trying to talk to them about things they've done to us or said to us, that it's going to cause some change in them, that they're going to suddenly get it. They're going to suddenly go, you know what? You're right. Stop wishing and hoping for people to change. Literally, I'm saying stop waiting for it. I've done a lot of psychic readings where people have asked me that question. You know, and a lot of times it's related to a relationship reading. When is he going to change? When is he going to be different? You know, everybody's on their own path. Some people aren't going to wake up. Some people aren't going to change. Some people aren't consciously, purposely working on themselves. But guess what? You are. I mean, if you're listening to this video right now, I'm assuming you're working on yourself. I'm assuming that you want to improve, that you want to get better, that you want to be your best you. So you are working on yourself, and you need to always keep the focus on yourself. It's not about them. How your life isn't based on what another person is doing with or in their life. No, it's supposed to be about you. You're supposed to keep your focus on you. Here's the thing. There are different reasons why people sometimes treat you the way they do. And one of the reasons that a lot of people don't consider is that that person may have made an agreement to play a certain role for you in this lifetime to help you learn certain lessons. So they're kind of on automatic pilot. What I mean by that is they made an agreement before you both incarnated to play a certain role for you, and they aren't aware of it. Oh, you know what I mean? They're not awake to it. They're not aware of it. They don't remember making that agreement. They think that they're just being them. And they think that their behavior is okay. They don't remember making that agreement for you. But they're like on an automatic pilot of sorts. And you can't take them off of automatic pilot either. They came into this lifetime agreeing that they would play that role for you and behave a certain way so that you could learn whatever lessons you needed to learn. So the question really isn't when are they going to change. The question more is, when am I going to go ahead, learn whatever I need to learn from this so that I can change, even if they don't. Okay, so you might be asking, well, they're the ones that are being bad people, rude, negative, evil. So what is it that I need to change? They're the ones that are being the bad person. Yeah, but here's the question. How are you handling it? Is it affecting you? Are you affected by it, even slightly? Do you notice it? That's a thing. Okay, let's say, for example, somebody says something to you. You go to work and a coworker that's always, throwing shots at you. They say something snide. And it wasn't even called for. They just live to make you miserable. But maybe you didn't notice it at all. And later on, another coworker points it out to you. Oh, that was awful when they said such and such. And you're like, what? Oh, I didn't even notice. Is that how it's going for you? Are you not even noticing when people are purposely attempting to do things that are that negatively affect you? Are you at that point? Or do you still notice? Even if you're not negatively affected by it, meaning they don't do or say something and it has you, bawling your eyes out for the rest of the day, or has you really, really angry and having visions of punching them in the face, you laugh, but been there. You know what I mean? You may not want to admit to people that you do that happens, but you may have even visualized just giving them a total, complete beatdown because they upset you so much. So what I'm saying is, even if your reaction isn't huge and on the outside, even if all your reaction is that you run that scenario through your mind again. They said such and such to you, and then you punch them in the face. You run the scenario again, and then you visualize what you wish you would have done. Even if that's all you do, or even if you think about it again, or you find yourself telling a friend about it, even though maybe it didn't get you upset to the point of being really, really angry or crying or anything, but still, did you notice it? And two, did it kind of stick in your mind a little bit? Was it memorable? Well, do you think that you'll forget it? That a day is going to come when you're you don't even remember that it happened. You don't even remember that was said to you. Probably not. You're probably going to remember. Even if you don't remember exactly what was said, you're probably going to remember. So that means, yeah, it's still affecting you. But here's the thing. You've got to keep turning the focus back around on yourself. You have to work on getting to a point where it can happen and it doesn't set your stomach on fire. That burning sensation you get in your stomach. When you're having an incident with another person and it's upsetting you, that burning feeling you get. You're trying to get to the day when literally people could say anything they want about you, or you could even hear that somebody said something bad about you, and it literally doesn't affect you. It's almost like somebody telling you how it rained yesterday and you're very unaffected by it. Okay, so it rained yesterday. All right. Yeah, I didn't notice. I took a nap. You know what I mean? You're trying to get to the point where that's your reaction to it. It's okay to not like it though. Don't, I'm not going to try to tell you that there's something wrong with you because you don't like it. No, it's okay that you don't like being treated bad. Who likes being treated bad? Nobody. So it's okay that you don't like it. But you got to get to the point where you're like wishing, hoping, looking forward to that day when that person is going to change. Why? Because it's like having an expectation that when it doesn't happen is going to be the ultimate letdown. And I don't know how many of you have heard me talk about having expectations are bad. It's not good to have an expectation. I don't care whether the expectation you have is a good one, a bad one. I don't care. It's bad to have expectations because it means it's that potential for you being disappointed, for you being let down. It's like saying you're setting yourself up for more disappointment. Do you want to be happy? Do you want to live your best life and live this nice, peaceful life where everything is good? Then you don't want to set yourself up. Don't set your own self up. What you need to work on is you keep questioning yourself. Why does what they said make me feel bad? Especially if I know it's not true. I know it's not true. What really upset you? Sometimes it's not your best self that's upset, your higher self. It's your negative ego that's upset. Your negative ego doesn't like certain people treating you certain ways, and your negative ego is that part of you that's like wants you to say this back to them, wants you to do this back to them, wants you to give them a piece of your mind. That's your negative ego that's doing that. So yeah, in a way, it reminds you, got a little bit more work to do, because my negative ego sure wanted me to punch them in the face. It's okay. It's okay to admit to yourself, yeah, I felt that way. As long as you keep your focus on working on it. Question how you felt. Well, why did you feel that way? You do know it's not true what they said, right? So if you know it's not true, then what really truly bothered you? Keep asking yourself those questions, because eventually what's going to happen is all of a sudden you're going to come up with an answer to the question that you never have before, and it's going to surprise and shock you, and it's going to move you forward. It's going to advance you. It takes a lot of work because you have to keep at it. Whenever you have somebody in your life that behaves a certain way, you're going to have chance after chance after chance to work on it. Why? Because they're not going to change too quickly. Even when you change, sometimes you'll see them change because, it takes two to tango. And if you've stopped dancing, they've got to stop dancing, right? So, yeah, sometimes after you've changed, what will happen is at first you will see them change as well. Maybe you'll notice they kind of slack off. They're not, they stop behaving the way with you that they did before. Why? Because they can't. Because you're not behaving the same way. So they can't fight with you like they used to. Why? Because you're not responding the way you used to. So eventually they stop. But sometimes it's just a pause. I've seen it happen in my own life. Sometimes it's just a pause for them to figure out how to come back at you, what way, they can't do it the way they used to. How can they still get at you? Oh, I got that going on. There are some people that I'm like, I'm not bothered by them anymore, but now I notice this this silence that I have, and this not reacting to the things they do and say. It's almost like they're taking advantage of that now, because they've taken it as, oh, now I can just say any foul thing I want to you. You're basically like laying down and letting me do that. No, what's happening now is I'm no longer so negatively affected by them. They no longer have me in tears. So they're no longer, you know what I mean? They're no longer able to affect me deep inside. So now what's happening is I'm not laying down and just letting them say whatever they want to me. What's happening is I'm unaffected. They're creating a lot of karma. I'm unaffected, and every other week I hear that they're sick again or have some new illness, because that karma is festering within them, because they're building more and more karma. So some people also aren't satisfied about people's behaviors. They're not really looking for their behavior to change, but don't want them they don't want them to be let off the hook for their bad behavior. Some people's negative ego gets really, really agitated because their feeling is they shouldn't be able to get away with it. This is a perspective. That perspective that you think the person's getting away with something. They're not. It's just that a lot of times the way karma works, often, one, we're not around to see that karma play out, and two, there's no sign over their head that goes, this is karmic event such as such that she had with Sherry playing out right now. So you never know when the karma that they have with you is playing out. You see karma playing out in their life, but you never know when, is that karma that's playing out right now because something they did to me, something they did to somebody else. You literally have to just trust and believe that they're not getting away with it. You also have to trust and believe that you're not God. You don't get to dole out those kind of punishments. But some people that light bulb hasn't gone off for them yet. They think that if a human being isn't punishing another human being, that no punishment is being given out. But you have to get to the point where one day where you understand that, yeah, karma is real. It works, and it's going to be dished out. Just because you don't get to see it, or maybe it's not dished out the way you think it should have been. Maybe you think something bigger should have happened to them. Maybe all that happened is that their landlord kicked them out. But maybe you think they should have gotten hit by a bus. It's not funny, but come on, let's be real. Sometimes you get mad at a person and you're thinking way bigger than just a little punishment. But it's not you that gets to decide what that punishment is, what that karma is that's going to play out. You don't get to decide that. But you got to be okay with the universe working the way it works, with the rules and the laws that it has. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay to a point where something happens and you literally can turn away and walk on and keep walking down that road, never looking back again, never looking over your shoulder to check to see what happened with that. It's like, can you do that? Can you not care that you don't know whatever happened with that? Whether or not somebody got their karma. Can you, after something happens, let it go in a way where you're like, okay, where was I at again? Oh, I was walking down this road. Oh yeah, I was on my path. Let me keep going. And not look back. Because if they get you to keep looking back, they've done something really terrible to you. They've affected your moving along your spiritual path, and that's the worst thing a person can do to you. But here's the thing, a person can only do it to you if you let them. So this is just a short video. I didn't really want to get into the ins and outs in a deep way of working on this, because really honestly, I wanted this video to be about getting you to start questioning when things happen, and start questioning how you feel about it, how it made you feel, why you felt that way, and to start like pondering the things that you're dealing with, just pondering them. Because if you can at least do that, you're well on your way to changing how you react to things, how certain things that happen make you feel. At least for right now, ponder them and question your reactions and how you feel, how the issues and the things that happened made you feel. Ponder that. Why? Why was it that they were able to upset you? Why, if you know something they said is not true? Start asking yourself those questions. Anyway, I thank you for listening. I really appreciate you and your time. Remember, you can find me at SherrySpeaks.com. Please do remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all the comments. Feel free to comment. Keep it positive, but feel free to comment. Feel free to share your stories. Some people will have shared with me people in their life that were difficult to deal with, and have actually said to me, you know, I had to nix this person completely out of my life. No matter who it was. I've had people tell me, you know, I eventually had to permanently nix my mother out of my life. You know, they said, you know, it just got to the point where she wasn't going to change, and I had to put me first. I had to save my own self. And yeah, maybe she'll change in the future, and maybe I'll let her back in then, but for now, they put themselves first. Protected themselves first. So feel free to share your experiences, or, you know, even if you had an experience dealing with somebody who is really difficult and you managed to solve it without nixing them out of your life, share that. It helps people to hear these stories. Why? Because it gives them hope. It gives them hope that maybe one day they'll have a better relationship with certain people, regardless of, you know, how they spiritually advance and are, you know, better able to deal with it. You know, one, you know, gives them hope that, hey, one day they may have a different relationship with that person. One day, yeah, that person may change. But you really shouldn't be wishing, hoping, and waiting for it. No, let them go on with their life how they want to. You go on with yours and focus on the direction you're supposed to be headed in. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.